Hey, what's up, guys? So, I wanted to actually do a review on this scope. Now, before I say what it is, I just want to let you guys know I've had this on my Mossberg MVP for about a year and a half now, and it's been on there for all the rounds that I've really put down through that gun, and it was actually in on the gun on the two review videos that I did on that gun. So. This is technically a Leapers, but it is a UTG. It is their Bug Buster, and it is a 3 to 9 by 40. Or sorry, 3 to 9 by 32. I'm my bad on that. My bad. It has their AO Dot Reticle. It does light up red or green. And if you turn off the battery, these batteries last a long time. So, one thing I really like about this scope is it comes with quick detach rings, which are really nice. I've taken the scope off the gun, off that Mossberg multiple times, to shoot with just the iron sights, and it's done very well going back to zero. Now, also, I said it has that mil dot reticle. Sorry about that. Let me see if I can get that right there. Nope. You guys don't understand how hard it is. There we go. You can see it for a bit. So it's just that regular mil dot reticle, and you're not. That's a really bright setting, and you're actually getting a lot of brightness with that through the camera. It's kind of that is the, and here is the red as well. One thing that's really nice about the scope that I really like is the fact that you do not need it doesn't need to be illuminated. So, if your batteries do die, you still have a reticle there. And that's one thing I really want in a scope, even if it is more of a tactical scope or a scope with that capabilities. I want it to be able to have a regular reticle as well. This scope I am going to be putting on my AR build. Um, the AR build it's going to be an 18-inch long 223 wild barrel. Hoping to be able to get out to 600 yards with pretty good accuracy. So I wanted a 3 to 9 on it, or I wanted like a 1 to 8. But I was looking at the 1 to 8s online, or 1 to 7, 1 to 6s, and they're pretty expensive. And I already had this scope, and the Mossberg has the iron sights. And to be completely honest with you, I'm really impressed in the Mossberg about 150 yards and in, but I don't think you need a 3 to 9 scope for it. So I've actually thought about getting a 1 to 4 scope for that Mossberg, as it stacks bullets on top of bullets in 100 yards, but you're never going to go out 600 yards with that gun. But anyways, on to the scope a little bit more. Does have a parallax adjustment right here. I hope you guys can see that. Um, and it goes whole way down to 3 yards, which I think is a little bit strange whenever it's a 3 power. But does go down to 3 yards. And it has increments from 5 to 10 to 12 to 25 to 50 to 100 to infinity. And from what it all depends on what you're going to be shooting. If you're going to be shooting 300 yards, you're going to want that infinity. But a lot of times people are shooting 50 to 100 yards on the range. 100 yards is going to work perfect. And if you just so happen to be just going out and shooting for fun and you're not quite sure, you can always bump it down to 25 yards, something like that. So I almost always keep it right around 100. A lot of times whenever I'm shooting, it's close to 100 or past 100, and you don't notice too much of a difference from 100 to affinity with that. Also, um, same or more about these rings. These rings are really nice. They actually do have a quality. Um, 2 Allen keys per side. Some don't. Now, in today's world, majority of them do have two. Uh, if I could change anything, I would probably have a single piece mount, and that is eventually what I'm probably gonna do with the AR. But also, these guys has locking turrets. Now, what's awesome about that is once you adjust it to the way you want it, then you can lock that down right here, and it's not going to move at all. And you just kind of unscrew this portion. Let's see if I can lighten it up. There we go. Wow, that sucks. And then you can actually move it around. So, which is cool. And it's a very audible click. You can hear that, I hope. And once you're done, you just tighten them on down. And also, you can actually reset these to 0 pretty much. So you loosen that Allen key, you turn this to 0, which it's already really close to because I've done that. And then you can actually make quick adjustments. That's going a quarter inch at 100 yards. So at 400 yards, you're talking about an inch. So you can adjust those really quickly, which is nice. So I be honest with you, I think it's a great quality scope, and some people don't give it the credit. It does come with a nice sunshade. I like it with the sunshade on. One, I think it almost looks kind of dumb without it, but it's that's personal preference, and that doesn't really matter with how well a scope performs. But really good scope. Has a coated optics. It's not like anything like like a Leupold or anything like that, but it's a really decent scope. Now, price wise, I have seen these on some places at like 180 or something like that. But also on Amazon, I've seen them at 89, and that was a year ago. And then actually earlier today, I checked, and they're still at that like $89, $90 price range. So I thought that was indicative that you can find them other places cheaper, and it's not necessarily just an $80 scope. So, but like you said, you got a nice sunshade, and it's actually this sunshade is you're probably not going to be able to see this. Well, right there, you can kind of see it. So if you see in there, it's actually ribbed to prevent sun hitting at an angle and bouncing into the lenses, which is nice because if you ever have a chance on like a deer or anything like that, or you're varmint hunting with a scope like this, or you're just out at range and you just so happen to get 3 minutes where the sun's just in the perfect spot where it's doing that, you're not going to have that with this scope. So let's see what else. And you got the fine focus adjustment right up here on the front, like majority of scopes. There's nothing crazy special about this scope. I do think that it is a really really good scope for the money. Eventually I might put a vortex on my AR or anything like that, and that's a possibility. But for right now, college student, college student, and all this $80 scope is and it works. I mean, I pretty much took a leap of faith. I've had experiences with Leopolds and Nikons and even Tascos being really good, and I took a leap of faith with this, and it's turned out to be a really good scope. The crosshairs, as I showed you before, they are fine. Like they're a fine crosshair. It's not like a thick mill dot, which where whenever you're aiming 300 yards, some of those thick tactical mill dots can take pretty much kind of go over the target, almost like a red dot can. It can almost cover the target. So, well, anyways, there's my review. If you liked the video, please like it. If you have any questions, ask in the comments. You know, subscribe. There'll be more to come like this. All right. You guys have a good day. Thank you.